Are you having trouble getting the most out of your stocks? Keep dying off stage? Don't be like this chump here. For 10 odd minutes, you can get back to stage for free. That's right, free! No more falling into the bottomless abyss of terror. No more Lovecraftian horrors haunting your nightmares. Just use up special and all your troubles will melt away. What's that? Some bully holding ledge and won't let you up? Don't worry, we cover that too. And if you keep watching, we'll even teach you how to edgeguard for free. Again, free! You'll go from Joe Blow to Joe Blow your socks off. Just stay right there. New players always struggle with recovery since it's a frustrating part of the game. This makes sense. After getting comboed, you now have to perform a mechanically difficult sequence of moves where a mistake would mean losing your stock. On top of that, it seems like the player on stage just has to wait for you to land and then hit you off again. I think if we break this down into smaller problems, then we can start to understand not only the idea behind recovery, but how to improve with each time you do it. I'll also provide some training exercises along the way. Let's start from the basics. Recovery is the process of using your resources to get back to an even neutral. There are universal resources which every character has access to, and there are character-specific ones as well. The universal ones are double jump, air dodge, and wall jump. The character-specific resources we call recovery moves. These are going to send you horizontal or vertical. As a rule of thumb, any move that sends you sideways or downwards can be cancelled into a wall jump, but upward recovery moves cannot. As always, there are notable exceptions to this. Not every character has a good recovery either. Some are just stronger than others. If you really struggle with recovery and you want a character with easy recovery, I would suggest Clarin, Loxodon, or even Crag. The first thing to understand about recovery is that there's a general order to using your resources. You don't want to lock yourself out of a resource before it's used. For example, you don't want to use your vertical recovery move first since it will put you into special fall and lock you out of other options. The basic flow to get as far as possible is to double jump, air dodge, horizontal recovery move, wall jump, vertical recovery move. But it doesn't mean you should do this every time. It can be better to only use a portion of the total flow. You can quickly identify which resources you should be using by conceptualizing different zones. As you can see, Zone 1 you only need 1 or 2 resources. Zone 2 you need an additional resource. Zone 3 you need 3 to 4 resources. And Zone 4 you need all of your resources just to make it back to stage. You can also see that if you're beneath the ledge, you're going to need more resources to recover. Let's look at some examples to show the differences. All of our examples are from the Rivals Academy weekly tournament, so these are amateur players typically around high gold to platinum rank or higher. In this example, we can see that the Rano is sent into Zone 1, so they only need to use a double jump and a horizontal recovery move to make it to ledge. Next, we can see that the Lox follows roughly the basic flow with an exception of the horizontal recovery move being used first. This is because Lox's eruption doesn't lock them out of other options. It also shows that Lox was in Zone 2, but for a character like Olympia, this would likely have been Zone 3. Everything I've laid out so far can be inferred by a new player. If you're hit further away, you need to use more resources to return, but this next part isn't something so obvious. The choice of where to land and how to get there are extremely important, and are one of the major factors that influence your recovery flow. There are 3 to 4 options for landing. You can grab ledge, land on the corner of the stage, land on the middle of the stage, or land on a platform, but that one's stage dependent. Each of these can be a good option, but if you're new, you'll want to avoid landing on the corner stage until you realize when it's harder to punish. Middle stage is good if ledge isn't an option since it's the furthest away from where your opponent is likely to be and will give you time to come out of landing lag. Platform is a good mix-up if it's outside the range of your opponent. Ledge is often the best option for most cases since it gives you invulnerability and refreshes some resources right next to the stage. But because of this, it's often the expected option, and it can become predictable if you overuse it. The zone which you're hit into can limit how many of these options are available to you. So being comfortable with the recovery flow and being able to adapt on the fly is important. For an exercise, go into training mode and spend a quick 10 minutes just trying to go as far out as you can while still being able to get back. Now, let's look at another example. Real quick before that though, I'm gonna ask for your support again. I love making these videos, and I'm committed to making them as well as I can. They do take a lot of time and effort, so if you want other people to see these tutorials, please support the video in the normal YouTube ways. But more important to me is share this series with new players who want help learning the game. Comments like this one make me very happy to see. Rivals 2 is a beautiful game, and I want as many people to love it as possible. Our first example is very quick. The Zetterburn landed at the corner of stage and is punished for it. If they had grabbed ledge instead, there would have been no punish here. In this clip, Zetter is hit off stage and immediately tries to go to the ledge, but because of where the Absa is, they get punished for it. I mentioned earlier that ledge is the strongest option, but can become predictable if overused. Let's dig a bit deeper into that. Important to remember here is that our goal with recovery is to get back to an even neutral. This is much easier to do if we are holding on to ledge, as we are already debatably in neutral. We have good defensive and offensive options to us, but we can't move around as much. This is why people want to grab ledge. To do that, you must be falling while not pressing your left stick down or performing another action. You can sweet spot the ledge by grabbing ledge at the end of your vertical recovery from below or canceling your recovery move into grabbing ledge. Sweet spotting ledge is great, but it is difficult. If the Zetter in the previous clip had done this, they would have survived. If you want to improve, go into training mode and try to get it 10 times total. Then aim to do it 5 times in a row. Good. Once you grab ledge, a couple of things are going to happen. You'll become intangible for half a second, most of your resources will refresh. This is character specific, so go check the Dragdown wiki to see which ones they are. And finally, your moveset will become limited. It will shrink to ledge stand, roll, jump, attack, special, and release. The most commonly useful ones for returning to neutral are stand, roll, jump, and release. These are great ways to get around the person on stage. If they are too close to you, you can use roll to get away from them. Jump is a good unexpected option since it sends you higher than any other option. If your opponent respects you too much, you can just stand up for free since it's quick. Finally, the best option is to ledge drop. It opens up a bunch of advanced techniques like double jump aerial, instant wall jump aerial, ledge dash, hacks dash, and even just regrabbing ledge. A lot of these allow us to be safer or have more potent aggression from the ledge with either an aerial attack or a grab. Let's look at some examples of how these options are used. In this first clip here, we can see that Rano jumps from ledge so that they can land immediately on the platform above them. This returns the game to an even neutral since the Rano can now do whatever they would like to. In our second example here, we can see that the Rano ledge dashes into holding shield, anticipating that the Forsburn is going to attack them. And in the final example here, the Forsburn does the opposite of the last example and instead of shielding, attacks, gaining the advantage from ledge. We've talked a lot about what your options are to recover to stage, but there's an elephant in the room. Namely, this Loxodont. What you've learned so far will make you decent at recovery, but to get to that next level, we have to account for the other player. The easiest way to do this is to learn how to edgeguard ourselves. Edgeguarding on the surface is more simple than recovering, but once both players are past a beginner's level, it becomes just as difficult. Our goal with edgeguarding is to finish out the stock of the opponent. We have to pick where and how we intercept the opponent. We can meet them on stage, from ledge, or off stage. Each of these is higher risk and higher reward. Since this Lox knows that most players are going to go to ledge, they can cover this with a drop instant wall jump fair. And until we reach a higher level of play, this is just game over for the Zetterburn. But once we reach it, watch what's going to happen. Lox then says, okay, I'm going to cover the top platform. And at first, it looks like they made the right choice. But then, Zetter goes to ledge from above. This is the last part of recovering. Changing your angle of approach and feinting one option while choosing another. In essence, being unpredictable. A favorite quote of mine from a friend is an unexpected bad option can be a good option. If we do the same thing every time, it becomes predictable. This Loxodont is someone else who is also trying to win and learning from what we're doing. This is why I want you to become used to the standard flow of recovery, because only once it's mastered can you understand when and how to break the rules. This game is beautiful because even in disadvantage, there's almost always a way to bring it back. You have to understand your opponent and what they want, and when you do, it feels amazing. Thanks for the support on these videos. The kind comments make me feel motivated to continue making these the best that I can. We passed 1,000 subscribers recently, and it's something that I am thankful for. Sorry for this video taking a bit longer. I'm currently in the process of moving across the country, so I've been doing this in the spare time between getting my car ready, packing everything up, and doing, well, paperwork. Be kind, be safe, and have a good day.